Welcome to Your Healthy Kitchen from YRMC.
Welcome to Your Healthy Kitchen. I'm your host, Rita Carey Rubin. Today we're going to cook with a very healthy, very old grain that most of us probably associate only with beer or soup. Any guesses what it might be? Well, it's barley. This little grain has been a staple in diets around the world for a longer time than wheat or rice. However, in the US, most barley goes into animal feed, or beer, or soup. So why try barley? Well, to start with, barley is delicious and can be used in most recipes that call for rice, including pilafs, salads, breads, or even risotto. It has a light flavor and is just a little chewier than short grain rice. For some great ideas on how to use barley, check out the National Barley Foods Council website at barleyfoods.org. There you'll find some really delicious recipes, including Thai barley stir fry, barley risotto, and even barley hash and barley burgers. So really, you can enjoy a high fiber burger. So when it comes to promoting health and preventing disease, barley just might have superpowers. Barley is packed with soluble fiber and provides more total fiber per cup than any other grain. And all of that fiber lowers your blood sugar and insulin levels significantly after meals, reduces inflammation in the body, and also lowers cholesterol. And studies indicate that this super grain can reduce your appetite and promote the growth of healthy bacteria in your gut. However, barley does contain gluten, and so wouldn't be appropriate for anyone with celiac disease or gluten sensitivity. So in the summer, I usually enjoy barley in a variety of salads. Because of its chewy texture and the fact that when chilled, barley doesn't get hard and crunchy like rice and pasta can, barley is actually a great salad ingredient. So today we're going to blend our barley up with some grilled veggies, fresh herbs, and a lemony dressing. But before we start, let's talk about the different types of barley that you'll probably find in the market. The most common type is something called pearl barley. And it is a more refined form of the grain and has the outer hull removed, and also the bran. And then some of the grain is also polished off as well. So it's a quicker cooking form of barley. It's lacking some of the fiber and some of the nutrients in less processed barley, but it's still very nutritious. And barley is a really unique grain in that the fiber in the grain actually is throughout the grain, not just concentrated in the bran. So even refined pearl barley is quite high in fiber. It's about 3 grams of fiber per cup cooked, or half cup cooked, sorry. This is hulled barley, and that's the less processed form of barley. The outer hull has been removed from the grain, but the bran remains, and they didn't polish off part of the grain as well. So this is more nutritious. It has some more phytochemicals and nutrients and a little bit higher fiber. It's got about 5 grams. And it does take a little bit longer to cook. So you'll often see recipes that use hulled barley. Usually it tells you it takes about an hour to cook it, but my experience has been it takes about 40 minutes. And you cook barley just like rice. So 1 cup of barley to 3 cups water, bring it to a boil, then turn it down to simmer and cover it. And like I said, the hulled barley, which is the less refined form, cooks in about 40 minutes. And you can, if you soak the grain overnight, just like you soak beans, you can cut that cooking time in half or by about a third. So I've got some cooked hulled barley here in my bowl, and we're going to add some nice grilled veggies. So I've got some kind of a Mediterranean theme here. We've got some grilled eggplant, and to grill eggplant, I usually cut the eggplant in like 1/2 inch thick slabs, and then take a brush, and just lightly brush one side of the eggplant with oil. Because if you've ever cooked with eggplant, you know that it's like a sponge, and it really absorbs a lot of oil and can become really greasy. But when I grill it I just put oil on one side, and that's the side I put down on the grill first. And once that one side has a lot of nice grill marks in it, I just flip it over, and that other side cooks really quickly and doesn't need any extra added oil. So here's our eggplant. And then also some nice grilled zucchini. So same thing with zucchini, just cut it in about a 1/2-inch slab. But the difference with the zucchini is there's not really any need to add any oil. So I just put the zucchini straight on the grill, about a medium hot grill, and you're good to go. So it takes about 10 minutes to grill on one side until you get those nice grill marks, and then flip it over. It only takes a few minutes to cook the other side. What's really neat about barley and also other starchy foods like other types of grains or noodles or pasta or even potatoes is that when you cook them and then chill them, or at least let them cool to about room temperature, the starch turns into something called resistant starch. So the starch granules that have loosened up and absorbed water during the cooking process start to come back together as they cool. So again, even just cool to room temperature, that starch starts to come back together, and it forms something called resistant starch, which is harder to digest. And so all starch is made with sugar molecules. It's all a bunch of sugar molecules stuck together in different ways. And when that starch is cooled, we can't get at those sugar molecules as quickly as when the food is hot. So if you have diabetes, you might find that if you eat grains like barley or potatoes or noodles or pasta, if you eat them chilled in a salad, they might not affect your blood sugars as much as if you eat them when they're warm. So it's kind of cool. So to our barley, we've got those nice grilled veggies. I'll also throw in some cherry tomatoes that I've just cut in half. And the cherry tomatoes add a nice bright flavor to contrast with the kind of the earthy sweetness of the grilled veggies and the earthy sweetness of the barley. I've also got some sliced black olives. These are Kalamata olives. So it adds another little bright flavor, a little salt to the dish. And our dressing is just lemon juice and some olive oil. So about 2 tablespoons lemon juice. It's not a lot of dressing. 2 tablespoons lemon juice, about 2 or 3 tablespoons of olive oil. Depends on how lemony you want your dressing. So if you use a little less olive oil, that lemon will come through a little bit more strongly. And I add a little bit of maple syrup to this dressing as well, about a tablespoon. This is optional. It's not much sweetener, but it's enough to round out the flavor of the dressing a little bit, take the really tart flavor of the lemon down a notch or two. And I also add some ground coriander. So coriander is the seed of cilantro. So it has a little bit of a fruity flavor to it, a little bit warm as well. So that goes really nicely with the rest of our ingredients. And of course some lemon zest. If you've seen any of our other videos, you'll know that I love to add citrus zest to things. The zest is just that outer layer on lemons and limes and oranges. So any kind of citrus fruit that just has a whole lot of flavor, and it brings the lemon flavor out in a dish really nicely, but without adding, additional tartness to the dish. So it's just a really nice way to bring out the lemon. So we'll put this in our dressing, and a pinch of salt, a little pepper, And I think I'll chop in a clove of garlic too. That's always a nice addition. That's a feisty bulb of garlic. So barley goes well with lots of things that are chewy, kind of earthy flavors. The barley salad you can make a barley salad with roasted beets. I've done that with, balance the beets out with a little bit of salty feta cheese. You could throw in some mint, really any kind of herb. That's a really nice dish. So there's our dressing. I'll just shake it up. And this barley I cooked earlier and then heated it up. Took it away from being so cold and heated it up to a little warmer than room temperature. This is when you add dressings to salads like barley salads or potato salads or pasta salads. It's nice to have the base to be a little bit warm because it'll absorb the flavors of the dressing and the other ingredients really nicely. And then for a final touch, we'll just add some nice fresh herbs. So I've got some basil and some mint. You could also add parsley to this if you'd like. You could add cilantro, would go really well. Just depends on what kind of flavor you want to bring out. So some nice basil from my garden. And mint. And remember, I love cooking with herbs because they are so nutritious. They're one of the best sources of phytochemicals, so those really important nutrients that we just get from plants. And when we cook with a lot of fresh herbs, you really don't need to add a lot of salt because you've got so much flavor in there already. So with the herbs, really add the herbs to taste as much as you want. The mint can get a little powerful, so you might want to add that slowly and adjust it as you go. And then one thing to add to your salad when you're serving it that's really nice is some grated cheese. So I've just got some nice wedge of Parmesan cheese here. And that just goes really well with all of those Mediterranean flavors. So just a little cheese. That flavor really goes a long way. So remember, you can find all of our recipes and many more videos at yrmc.org. Click on Make a Health Connection and then scroll down the page to the link for Your Healthy Kitchen. And now you can also follow us on Facebook. Just join our group page. It's called Your Healthy Kitchen with Rita Carey Rubin. And you'll get the latest on our upcoming shows, plus insider tips and recipes. And you can even add your own favorite recipes and ask us questions. So now that work is done, I am actually going to enjoy a barley beverage. But it's not beer. It's iced barley tea. It's a traditional summer drink in Japan, and it's just made with roasted barley. It's caffeine-free, and it's very good unsweetened, and served with just a few slices of lemon or lime. And you can actually make your own. You can roast your own barley to make tea, or buy it pre-roasted, like I did here. So until next time, cheers.